Coaches, what if I told you if you changed the way your quarterback dropped, you would actually be a better air raid team? Let's talk about it in today's video. Stay tuned. Coaches, welcome back to the Air Raid Nation YouTube channel, your home on the internet for the Air Raid offense, presented by 92 Meshgroup. This is Coach Coltharp. I'm really excited about today's video. We're going to be talking about changing your quarterback's drop and how you become a more efficient air raid coach. Hey, listen, if this is the kind of content you like, I'd love it if you hit a like on that thing and make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that bell so you know when we go live. Really excited about getting back to a more regular schedule as we move through the summertime. Hope everybody's staying safe. I know everybody's waiting with bated breath so we can get back on the practice field with our players. Some of you guys are lucky enough to already have done that here in North Carolina. Not so much for us yet, but we're getting there. So hey, let's jump into the video and let's talk about how we can all become better air raid coaches. All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit about why you should consider changing the way that you drop with your quarterback in the air raid offense. So a lot of you guys know that at the beginning of May, we were going to do the Air Raid Nation Clinic, and one of our top speakers was going to be Coach Phil Longo from the University of North Carolina. And I'm really excited to have Coach Longo come down to the clinic, and obviously that fell through because of all the stuff, everything's been going on with COVID and things like that. But I was able to kind of build a little bit of a relationship with him and talk to him from time to time. And the internet's got a drill tape of his is kind of floating around, and I know we have it on our website as well, of him talking about and showing, how he has his quarterbacks back out instead of traditionally turn their shoulders and drop. And so I was talking to him actually the day before yesterday. I was texting him a little bit because I had a couple questions, and I asked him, I was like, hey, Coach, what are the 4 reasons or what are some reasons for doing that? Because it just kind of intrigued me, because I can remember as a young kid watching guys like Dan Marino and John Elway, and you would see them guys back out from time to time, especially in the shotgun. And I just kind of wanted to understand a little bit more about it. So I asked him a question, and I really didn't think I was going to get some, long answer. But he did. He texted me right back that evening, and he gave me 4 reasons to do it. So I thought I would share those with you. Then I will jump into the video, show you a couple of the drills that he has, some clips and cut-ups, and then we'll finish up from there. So the first thing he said is the reason why you want to back out instead of traditionally is that it drastically increased the completion percentage to the backside of all of his routes. And they do all that data crunching at the college level. They got GAs and guys that can look at all that kind of stuff. And he said that, it was just that there was a notable difference in the completion percentage to backside of plays, when you back out versus traditional drop. The second thing he said is that his quarterbacks can now see pressures and blitzes because they're not turning their shoulders away. So as they're taking their 1 or 3 steps back or what, in their drop, they can see the stuff coming from the left or from the right, depending on which way their throwing arm is. And so he said that was another plus. The third plus was that he said he felt like his quarterbacks could see the whole field. And one of the things that I try to train my guys to do is, to overlook that front shoulder. So, sometimes there's going to be that blind spot, but when you're right here like this from the very beginning, you're going to have that peripheral vision to be able to see the whole field. And so, it's just common sense. It makes sense you can see the whole field. And then the last thing he said that the defense really can't squeeze the field on you. They can't pressure you to your non-throwing side or however you want to characterize it. They just can't squeeze the field because you now have total vision. You can see one side or the other. They can't come at you from your dominant side or your non-dominant side. And just kind of turn your field, squeeze your field like that. So he said these were kind of the 4 reasons that why he kind of went to this concept versus traditional drops. And I thought to myself, that's pretty commonsensical. I think I just made a word up there, but he's right. And so it's got me thinking, okay, is this something that we could do at our level? Is this something that we should do? And so I wanted to look at more of his drills. So let's jump into his drill tape. We'll talk a little bit about it. And then at the end of the video, you can, in the comments down below, let me know if you do anything like this or if you've considered backing out versus traditional drops. All right, guys, so here we are. We're over in our Team Extreme software, and I thought we would go through some of the drills that Coach Longo uses. The first one is kind of his Top Gun drill. I like the way they work on it when they're doing quick screens and things like that. So you can kind of get an idea. They're just catching the ball and they're turning their shoulders, but watch how they overemphasize getting their face down on the ball, catching it, and I think those are those little detail-oriented things that really make a difference when you're trying to become a better team and you're building fundamentals. Just paying attention to those little bitty fundamentals. you know, and watching how they do that. Now I would be going crazy right now because I don't like people walking behind my quarterback. Coach would have to hear about that part. But you can see here they're going to take their little 3-step drop, their little warm up, working on turning their shoulders from left to right. And it's a pretty good little nice little warm up drill. The second part, let's look at some of the game cuts on that deal. You can see just kind of that one quick step bang. Into the deal, and I like the way that they do their cut ups here for Coach Longo. Like here, you're going to see the wide shot of this, but then watch how this is when it's nice to have like that multi-million-dollar video budget and things like that, because now watch, they got to actually have a special camera right there on the quarterback tight. So there's a tight copy of the line and a wide copy from behind as well. So, but you could kind of see just him taking that one step back. Not really turning his shoulders and getting in on that. So then let's look at the kind of, he has two different drops for his 3-step, and here's just the old traditional drop the line drill. You know, the same thing. They're just going to take their steps back. You know, nothing major on that. You're just not turning sideways. How many of us have done this drill with our quarterbacks and then tell them to stop and look down, and they're, you know, 3 yards to the right or 3 yards to the left. So, you know, usually backing out is going to be a lot easier to walk that line on that. So that's a pretty good deal on that. So getting back into this is the 3-step. You can kind of see just the nice little warm up action on that deal. You're just kind of staying in there tight. Catching the ball, 1, 2, 3, bang, turning your shoulders, and doing that kind of stuff. And here is the quick 3 and the regular 3. So here's the quick 3, the regular 3, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, bang, and then as you get into here, look at the cut ups on that, and you'll see what the difference between the 3 steps here in a second. 1, 2, 3, bang. He's throwing the deep ball right there, nice big fade. And then you'll see why he has the quick 3 in there as well, especially when you're throwing mesh here in a second. But 1, 2, 3, bang, and I just like the fact that the way Sam is not turned. He in his initial drop, he can see everything. So you can see his shoulders are staying square. Then it's boom, and that's a pretty ball coming up top. So let's come back down here to this the quick 3, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about and why that's important. So here's the quick 3, 1, 2, 3, boom. And you know, they're gonna. I like how even old school. If any of you guys who've taught offense from under the center, you remember that big first grab grass step that we used to teach coming from under the center. But watch the quick 3 drop. Let me go to the next one so you can see the cut up. But watch why the quick 3 drop is important. 1, 2, 3, boom. He's throwing the little snap route right there, which this is a neat little play. I might do a video on this one at some point. It's a nice little play off of stick. But you know, he's throwing a quick snap, and then watch this next one, which is I think this one is the mesh out, if I'm not mistaken. Which is really why that quick 3 is really, really important. You know, so you would want to do this quick 3 if you had a longer quick game route like that snap route, or if you wanted to get rid of the ball like on the 4-step corner and stuff like that. So here you can see it. They're running mesh. He wants to get that ball out, and there it is. So one more look at it. Bang. So like I said, you know, he has a bunch of little different drills in there. You can go over we had the drill tape in our Patreon section. So if you're a member of our Patreon, you can watch that drill tape and stuff like that as well. And I would just say this, that, you know, it really has kind of caught my attention that maybe I should start talking about maybe backing out. I don't know if it's really that much easier or harder to teach. I'm going to do some talking to a couple more people before I change, you know, kind of how we do those things. You know, don't ever be that guy that goes to the clinic and he listens to a guy talk, and then you go back and you change everything you've ever done without doing more research, man. That's like the worst thing ever. That's like the most rookie coach mistake ever. You go to a clinic, you listen to a speech, and then all of a sudden you're changing everything, you know. And that's why I like our Foundations of the Air Raid course. You know, it's one thing to watch, you know, a shallow cross video or a mesh video, but when, you know, like in our Foundations, we take you from the very beginning, from install, why you do it, what the philosophy is, who your people are, blah 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 blah, all the way down through the end. So, and we have a 75% off special on that this month too. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and do that. Guys, I appreciate you stopping by the channel. Please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that little bell. You can subscribe by hitting that little logo down there. There's a couple of videos right over there next to me that you might want to check out. And as always, spin it to win.